Hey everyone, happy Monday. Hope all is well in your world. So nice to see everyone. It's been a minute since I've gone live. Definitely excited. Oops, I don't want that. I'm definitely excited about this chat that we're going to have with my dear friend Renee. We're going to talk about an intentional 2-hour workday and how that could shift your reality in a really huge way. It's shifted mine financially, and in so many other ways. So let me see if I can bring her on. Sent. Let's see. I see you. I think I see you. There we go. All right. And I got my little sidekick here with me today. You want to say hi, Atlas? Mr. Atlas? Hi.
Oh, hello. Oh, you got your little guy with you too.
Yeah, well, that's what we're here, Atlas. Here, you want to go?
I love it. I love it that we get to be mamas and entrepreneurs all at the same time.
Right? Well, thank you so much for joining me. I'm super excited to share your story because I've been watching your success as it grows and grows and grows. And I would love for so many mamas. I mean, you and I are both single moms and have been, I don't know, I feel like I have been since the beginning. And I feel like a lot of moms, even in relationships, they feel like they're in single parent relationships because they do so much and they struggle financially. And so I just have a real heart for it. I know you do, for not just mamas, but women in general, but especially mamas, because it's just so hard to multitask and constantly be doing so many things.
Yeah.
And then also have to worry about the financial piece as well.
Oh yeah, it's definitely, I definitely pray that someday we'll all wisen up and be in villages again and have extended community helping us raise our children in a better, healthier way, because we're not meant to do it alone. And we're definitely, the single parent household rate is so high now, and I know there's a lot of struggling single dads out there too. It's not quite as common as the single mom thing, but any way that we can empower women to be able to be the mom that they dream of being, but also be able to provide if they don't have that resource somewhere else, either in a supportive husband or something, right? So yeah, this has been single mamahood has been a huge part of my life for 20. I mean, my oldest daughter's 27, and I raised her mostly as a single mama. So, in and out of some relationships, but mostly single. And I know deeply, because after decades of that, there is a deep toll that it can take on women. It just wrecks our nervous system to have to balance both. Just being a mom in modern day life, where we don't have the extended family and the support and the grandmas and the aunties, and everybody is really raising the children as a village. Just that alone is hard, even on two parent households. But on single parent households, I think it's so a core reason why depression rates, anxiety rates, medicated rates, chronic fatigue, fibromyalgia, immune dysfunction, all of it is because people are stuck on this hyper arousal struggle state of being that, not having the financial resources to be able to pay your rent and take care of your kids is right at the foundation of a lot of that.
Yeah, well, and so many of us, I know so many women, we try to do affiliate marketing, network marketing. We're trying to do as many different side hustles as we can just to like make ends meet and to maybe even be able to go on a vacation once a year.
Yeah.
Years. And so, I know you and I have both had similar journeys with, well, I maybe have danced with a lot more companies than you have over the years. Since I was probably like 16 or 18, I jumped into network marketing, and I've had some successes here and there. I know you've had a big success in one company, but sometimes companies don't last. Things shift, things change. And also for me, it was just like the team building of having to like manage a team and like constantly be accessible to a lot of people is just already, your life is already got a lot going on. So that can feel even more overwhelming.
Yeah.
And so when this came into my world, as it came into yours, it came into your world before mine. I just was like, wow, this is like a new paradigm shift. Totally. It's like so different. So yeah, just share your experience with that and your thoughts
Yeah,
on
yeah. Well, so, I've been in and out of the network marketing space for about 20 years. Also been doing my own coaching, retreats, programs, different things for about 25 years. So always, like, I've been an entrepreneur my whole mamahood. And thank God, right? Thank God for these different avenues and different paths and different ways of bringing in income. And a lot of them, like when I discovered this, when I discovered like the master resale rights business model, right, and online marketing in this form, I was just so ecstatic and so blown away. This is not even 8 weeks ago now, that I discovered this business model, and I was just like, what? Like, there's no like monthly expenses. I don't have to meet quotas every month where I'm just stressed. I mean, I remember, in so many network marketing spaces, you're on that, like that the last week of the month is so freaking stressful because you're trying to meet your requirements to hold your rank, to not lose your income. You're trying to get your people to do the same thing because you're dependent on what they're doing. And it's really a lot. I think it's a lot for anybody, but for someone who's already mothering children, who already has constant demands on our nervous system, to then manage teams and to, and I have a deep groove of people pleasing. I have a really deep groove of being an empath and never wanting to leave someone alone and always wanting to help people. And oh my God, sometimes I look at that and I'm like, oh my God, network marketing was so not the business model for me because, I never had a day off. I would be working Sundays. I'd take phone calls at 11 o'clock at night from team members who were in a panic. Like, like I went into being an entrepreneur to have time freedom and to create those memories with my children and to be a really present mom. And what I discovered was I might as well have just, sewn my earbuds to my ear and lived on my phone 24/7. So, this new model, oh, it's so like, I feel such a level of sovereignty and freedom in my life that I don't think I have felt in a really long time. Like really long time. Just this level of, I'm learning the skills and the strategies to have daily pay. I'm learning the skills and the strategies and the very, very, very simple systems to have a 2-hour workday. What I've set for the summer is that I just get up in the morning and I have it in my calendar. I've got it like, I've got it made all pretty in my calendar with stars and emojis and stuff for building my legacy, right? And I do that generally between 7 and 9 a.m. because I want to get it all done before my kiddo even wakes up. And then I go and I have an awesome summer day. Occasionally I'll do a little bit more follow up in the evening, but the ability to kind of craft our own lives and really be the co-creator with Source, to craft and design a life that works for us, for our kids, that really genuinely gives us that time freedom. I mean, I've had my best income month in like 6 years. So, and it was my first full month with this program, best income month in 6 years. I had only one other time in my life had this level of monthly income. And that was after 6 months of, 8, 10, 12-hour days, 7 days a week, like working so hard to build something, right? And here it's been a completely different experience of, I'm doing all kinds of self-care. I've gone camping and, chaperoned my kiddo's river rafting trip for his homeschool group. I went on a 4-day women's retreat that you were on as well. It's so beautiful. Went on a retreat. I have upped my self-care to a level that it probably has never been, which, again, just feels so amazing. I mean, one of the other things that I'll share this morning, I had this moment, just this moment in bed of such deep gratitude, because for years now, I've been in extreme exhaustion where my nervous system is just shot, right? Just absolutely shot. And yet running on so much cortisol that I can barely sleep, right? So my pattern has been for a number of years now that maybe if I'm lucky, I get 6 hours of sleep, but more often than not, it's 4.5, 5 hours of sleep. And then the cortisol is just buzzing and I can't sleep. And so the last few weeks, I've been giving myself permission to like sleep in as long as my body needs to and wants to. And I've been having my first 8 and 9 hour night sleeps in years. And like, I can just feel the deepest restoration happening in my nervous system, in my body, in my being, that is happening with this sense of it's not just because of the finances that I've earned in the last 7 weeks, but because it's like I have this confidence now that like I know the skills and the strategies and the systems, and I have something that I just know, like I've never represented something that like, you know, like if we were in a store, it would be like empty shelves, how fast it's flying off the shelves, right? It's like I've represented what I think are phenomenal products, but they weren't things that people really needed and desperately wanted. And you had to do so much effort to like educate them on it. And like, you know, and this is such a it's so different. And the piece of, you know, it's 100% attraction marketing. Like that part is also so refreshing. Like I don't have to chase people down. Like I don't even initiate follow-up. Like if somebody's asked for my link, you know, I give it to them, and then it's up to them if they actually opt in or not. I'm not going back and like, hey, did you know, none of that. Like I've promised myself that this business, I am going to do it 100% attraction marketing. I should say 99%, because my very first person was my bestie who I reached out to. That's the only reach out that I've done. And she's done, you know, almost all of my businesses with me. And the interesting thing to note is she hasn't had much success in most of the businesses that she's done with me. And this one she's crushing. So it's just all around. Like there's just such a deep reset that I think can happen for people with this. And, you know, I know you're doing amazing with it. And like so many of the customers are, you know, getting their replicated system set up, learning just the few first basic strategies that you can learn in just a day or two, implementing them, and they're not only making their money back immediately, but they're getting into profit very often within their first week.
Yeah,
Amazing.
that's so important, because that builds that belief in people. And you know, people are asking me, like, some people are having a hard time wrapping their brain around it because it is different. But I like to just tell people, it's, you're learning a set of skills that are really like invaluable, that you could apply to any other business. You're learning how to really authentically share your story with intention. And yeah, I think the 2-hour workday is just like a life transform for people, because as entrepreneurs, most of us have spent so much time like running around online like a chicken with our head cut off, trying to like attract people or reach out to people or all these different things. And this kind of like grounds you into this centered place of, that's really based on community, which I think is what like people are really like hungry for, is like that communal space of knowing that other people are winning and working at something similar as you and are actually having success.
Yeah.
And so people are asking me, like, what does your 2-hour workday look like? Like, what do you do in your 2 hours?
Okay, great. Well, first of all, I just want to address that piece of the community, because this, more than any other business that I've ever done, it's this beautiful balance between sovereignty, self-responsibility, co-creation. I am the creator of my success in my life, and we're not doing it alone, but it's like we're not dependent on or needing all these other people to, you know, make the dollars for us, right? Like in network marketing, where it's all the depths and the team and all that. So it's a very different energetic in the community. It's like genuinely people just cheering each other on, sharing what's working for them, you know, learning from each other. I mean, one of my favorite things to do every morning, I start my morning off with going in the community and looking at the wins section, and just like going in and celebrating some of the people that are having, you know, my first sale, or, oh my God, 10,000 this month, or what, you know, like it's just so fun to go in there. And every time I'm reading it, I'm like, if they can do it, I can do it. If they can do it, I can do it. Right. And so to start the day off like that, where it's like you're seeing other people in the community have great success, or we're sharing our own success, there is this incredible community aspect. And of course, the mentorship is like mind blowing. I mean, people pay thousands if not tens of thousands of dollars for programs that have this level of mentorship.
I've paid thousands of dollars for lots of programs.
Oh, me too. Me too. My highest paid program that I was in, I paid $18,000 to be in a business, like a business online marketing mastery type of program. And oh my God, what I'm learning in this, like, blows it out of the water. And I'm like, I only paid $900 once, and I'm a member of this community forever, and I get these mentoring calls. And I get to turn right around and create profit, right? So anyways, the value is incredible. So the 2-hour workday, really, some of it depends on the strategy, because that's the other thing that's so cool here is there's different strategies that different personality types can implement, right? So one of my gals is a lot less confident and comfortable being really visible online on social. So she has gone to the strategy of the copy and paste free ads, which I haven't implemented that yet, but I plan on at some point. But she's implementing that with great success, right? So that's something that someone, that's a little bit more introverted, they got to build up their confidence over time, build up their knowledge of how to be on social and that kind of thing. They can start with the copy and paste free ads, right? Other people are hitting it, 100% through social media. Some people are hitting it with different platforms where they're actually starting a faceless brand, right? So starting a new Instagram or a new TikTok, but actually it doesn't have to be them on video, right? And there's a whole, training on all of that. So there's so many different systems and ways that people could be like, okay, like this is what really lights me up, or this is what, yes, stretches me, but not to the point where I'm going to freak out and quit, right? So my 2-hour workday has been, the 2 hours is really supposed to be the income producing activities, right? So it's whatever it is that you're doing as your strategy. For me, so far, I'm solely working Facebook. And then I'm, also planning on really launching a full, like, I want to go all in on my strategy on TikTok, even though at 51, I never thought that I would like do a TikTok account. Like, it just wasn't like, I don't have personal attraction to it as a social media platform, but understanding the power of short form video and TikTok being such an epic platform for spreading us to all kinds of audiences all over the world. It's very different than Facebook. So I plan on implementing a TikTok strategy that will be just like exactly what Michelle did, right? I'm just going to be like three posts a day, just really, really consistent with it. As soon as I can go live on there, I'm going to be going live on there and just staying super consistent. 15-second video, 20-second video, 45-second video, whatever, right? So that's my next strategy. Not there yet, but with working on Facebook. So I do, half hour to an hour of content creation a day, and then generally a half hour to an hour of follow-up. So follow up in my emails, follow up in because I'm working on Facebook, right? If I make a post and somebody's commenting on it, I go back and I engage in those comments, because that helps boost your post to, more people. The more comments that are on it, the more engagement that's happening. It shows it to more people, right? So always comment on the comments. And then I go into the DMs and I actually put my, I put my link there, and sometimes I'll leave a little voice note or something to personalize it. But really you're just sharing your landing page, and that's the systems and the automations that's so awesome. I'm like, oh my God, like, why have I not used systems and automations in all my businesses, right? Because it does so much of the heavy lifting for us. So, then people will opt in, and you can see in your, in our back end, you can see, who's opting in, you can see the email automations that they're in, and then our email automations then does the work for us for the next 2 weeks. They're getting a drip email a day that just educates them a little bit more, engages them, gets them thinking, gets them watching little short videos or seeing little testimonies. And, those of us that are from the network marketing space, but really any sales space, which I just have to say, most people are like, yeah, but I don't like sales. I'm like, dude, everything that we do is sales. Everything that we do is promoting something, right? If someone's a massage therapist, you better be good at sales. If someone's, a musician, you better know how to do sales and promotion and marketing, right? It's like every almost, you know, even brick and mortar businesses these days, if you don't have an online presence, it's almost impossible to have success, right? So,
and even in relationship to relationship, you're constantly, and people have like such a strange feeling about selling, but you're selling yourself all the time. In how you interact with people, your energy is constantly showing up for you, and people decide whether or not they want to interact with you based on how you represent yourself.
Right. Are we attracting people and inviting genuine, deeper connection, whether that's through sales or through relationships or through whatever, or is something that we're doing, you know, cold and closing off and you know, pushing back, right? Like it really is just, it, like, we can boil it down to the most simple and basic things. Are we actually creating connection with people? Because connection really equals currency. Currency is just energy, right? Currency is just connection and flow between people, whether it's the flow of love, the flow of money and resources, the flow of support, the flow of whatever, friendship, right? So are we, you know, cultivating our capacity to have beautiful connection, beautiful currency, right? So yeah, the 2-hour workday, I love it. I would say, you know, where like for me, like probably half of my 2-hour workday is usually the follow-up, right? But again, the follow-up is minimal. It's not me reaching out to somebody that has asked for information. Once I give them my landing page, I let the system do its work, and then they either come back to me and ask for more information or not. And when they ask for more information, or they, you know, generally I will share another longer webinar, or like I did a really, like a just a brief little screen share recording of the back end of things, because a lot of times people will come in and be like, yeah, but I just can't wrap my head around it. And so I found doing this screen share recording helps people wrap their head around it, to actually see, this is what the course looks like, this is what the community looks like, these are the resources that we have, here's all the mentoring calls on the calendar, and here's the automated replicated system. Like, look at what this looks like, this is how it all works. And then it's like, ding, people are like, oh my God, that's so brilliant, right? Mm-hmm. So I usually send out one of those two things as a little follow-up. And, you know, occasionally I'm still getting on the phone with people. And of course, you know, if someone really needs to hear my voice and they really need to like ask some questions and have that kind of deeper connection to have a conversation, I'm fine with that, you know. And the system really is set up that for the majority of the time you don't need that, right? Like that, and that's the whole idea of being able to scale it. You know, I mean, our mentor, I'm sure she's definitely making at least over 100, probably 130,000 a month on her own sales right now, right? Because that's the other thing that a lot of people ask. I'm sure you're getting that. Well, how, I don't understand, if you're making 100% profit, like, how does your mentor make money on this whole thing? I'm like, well, she's still selling it herself, right? Yeah. It's an evergreen product. The course, the digital mastery courses are, you know, like, she's not remaking them every day, they're there. Right. And then she's selling and promoting them herself, so she's making her own income on it. Our you know, the $29 one-time fee for the replicated website supports a lot of the admin and the community and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, it's a brilliant business model. And, you know, it's I think it's really brilliant too, for, I mean, she's teaching us in the program, if we wanted to do this ourselves eventually, right? Right. Yep. You can create your own courses, attach master resale rights to it, create your own community, hold your own community, hold your own mentorship program like this, and build your brand that way, build your following, build your, you know, I mean, you know, Michelle's brand is just like going bonkers. I mean, there's been 10,000 people from around the world that have joined the community since I joined it, not quite 2 months ago. And then her YouTube channel has grown. When I started following her on YouTube, her channel, I think, was maybe like 10,000 people, 10,000 followers. And that's the other thing that's really cool that I'm learning from her, is I always thought you had to get to like 100,000 followers on YouTube to ever be monetized. And she teaches us how to monetize very early on. Like, she's been monetized on her YouTube now for more than a year, I think. So, you know, the different income paths, I love that our program does that as well, where, you know, I think she has 14 income streams now. So, you know, one of the big modules in the program, and a lot of the conversation in the community and with the mentorship calls, is also about how do you also set up additional income streams and recurring revenue with the email list that we're building here, with your, social media following and customer base that you're building. So it becomes this very it really does help us build our legacy. That's such a perfect name for it.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yes. So many skill sets. Cause that is the biggest question that people have. Is like, are you just reselling a program and that's all this is? That's how you're making money, is you're just reselling a program. When I just saw on Instagram this girl the other day, she was like, yeah, I've been promoting this thing that everybody thinks is a scam, but guess what? This scam helped me develop my own programs. And so she now, I think she had just had like $100,000 month, not just from selling, and she wasn't even selling digital legacy. It was some other program that she had gotten into in digital marketing. But she did $100,000 last month in her business on programs that she created for her own tutorials on, I think she's into skincare or something like that. Like, so people are taking this skill set and they're applying it to something else. Maybe they didn't start out that way because some people don't have a product to sell to begin with. And so this is kind of offering you that initial product to sell, this initial set of skills that who knows where it's going to take you, you know?
I love all the learning that we're doing here. I think, again, back to my sharing of the reset that's happening in my nervous system, there's just this foundation of confidence now that and it's not I've been trying to learn a lot of these skills for quite a few years. I like to refer to Michelle as your favorite elementary school teacher who finally was able to help you learn the stuff that you had really been struggling with. That's how she has been for me. Right? I have been in the online business space for years, and there's something about how she teaches things, how she breaks it down to such simple things, and how she has us it's also about the implementation of them, right? There's this, I call our community, in this whole program, I call it a success ecosystem, because I feel like there is so many pieces in place that help us learn and put into place and implement and actually start earning right away that I haven't seen in any other program. There's just something so special about the way this is all set up that I feel like I finally cracked the code to my own ability to have great success online. And I think, again, back to that whole thing of online is where it's at. I mean, I just, as much as others, have those moments where I'm like, oh my God, I wish tech wouldn't have taken over the world. And can we just go live in villages and nature again, please? I definitely, I'm not a big tech lover. I don't like spending, hours and hours and hours and hours of time on the computer and on the phone. But I'm telling you, when we learn these skills and these strategies, it actually frees us. I used to spend so much more time online and on my phone and on tech. Now, it actually, because I'm finally cracking the code and learning the skills to be effective, I'm not just spinning my wheels anymore. I'm actually the time that I'm online, the time that I'm on my phone, the time that I'm working my business, I'm actually being extremely effective. And then that liberates the rest of my time to go be on the river with my kid or to go hiking or camping or whatever. Right. So, again, it's just the education here is so good. And I think, the whole e-commerce, everything, digital, that's, whether people like it or not, that's where we're at. It's not even where we're headed. It's where we're at. And if we don't learn the basic skills of how to be masterful on that, then we're really getting kind of left behind as far as the ability to generate additional income streams, or even just, primary income streams. Right. So, the skills online, I think, anyways, that's enough on that point.
Well, yeah,
I could go on a whole nother tangent, but
we could talk about this probably for a couple hours, but I don't want to. I like to keep it a little bit shorter to help everybody wrap their brain around it. But just to circle back to what you were saying about, I think I heard on a video the other day, it's $1 billion a day industry right now, digital marketing alone.
Yep.
And over the next 2 years, they expect it to hit $30 trillion. So if you
3
could just like
billion a day,
a
3 billion a
small,
day is
tiny piece of that pie,
Yeah.
like imagine how life-changing that could be for you. Even if people made like $100,000 a year, that would be life-changing for most people. I mean, to be able to make $5,000 a month is life-changing for so many people. A lot of people barely make $2,000 a month. There was a guy breaking it down that on another video that, you know, if you retire with Social Security, you're getting like 400 some odd dollars a week. Like
nobody can live on that.
No one can live off of that. And there was a video I was watching, a grandmother in Canada. She made $240,000 in her first like 14 weeks or something while she was working another job. So I literally tell everybody, if you can read and follow instructions, like you can do this.
You can
it's
do
literally a step-by-step done for program. Just read it, follow the instructions, show up in the community, feel inspired, and like it'll happen for you. So
I think out of everything I've ever seen or looked at or been a part of, the confidence that I have in sharing this, because I see the greatest opportunity and the greatest chance that people will be successful here. Now, is it still on somebody to show up and work their mindset and, you know, apply? Yes. But everything else is there. Like everything else that we need is there. A proven product that converts, a proven automated system that converts, the mentoring, the, you know, spaces to ask the Q&A, that right, the endless education to help get us the skills, right? And then the community cheering us on. Like there's just, it's so good. You know, again, it's to feel like I can bring this to people and have such confidence that they will have the greatest opportunity I've ever been able to present them at creating an income, learning the skills, changing their life. Like, yes, you know, like I want that, because I love helping, you know, people have hope, helping people have transformation in their life. And this is by far one of the best ways that I've found so far. So
no, it's such a big deal. Well, thanks for sharing your story. And also I just wanted to say that that's another reason that I was drawn to this, because I've looked at a lot of other things. There just seems to be a different energy behind this, and I think it's mostly because of the woman who created it. She was a single mother. I think she was a single mother of 6 and
divorced divorced mom of 6
in 2022 when she discovered digital marketing, and then she learned this skill set and then started applying it to her own life, and then she just decided to create her own community. And so I think that therein lies a lot of like the magic behind this. It's just the energy of this woman. Her heart just really seems to be pure, and really just about helping people discover their own power and their own financial freedom. So
it's beautiful. I'm so glad we get to play in this space together.
I know. Well, thanks for sharing your story.
Absolutely,
and to our success and everyone else's to come. And if you're a friend of Renee's, or you're seeing this on Renee's page, go to Renee for more info. And if you're on my page and you're seeing this, come to me for more info. And so much fun.
Love you, honey.
Have a good day.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.